I know there are actually a few people who keep asking questions about the best way to deploy a Django application. Not only the best, but here we are also talking about the easiest and the most feasible way to actually deploy such an application. After a lot of research and since a lot of exploring, I came across the solution using an EC2 instance. You can also use a virtual machine from any cloud provider of your choice, but let's just go about the configuration. So here we'll log into the virtual machine using the SSH protocol, obviously using our SSH key, our SSH public key, which we'll download from our cloud provider. I always prefer that passwords somehow are not secure for my own knowledge or for some personal reasons of mine, which I will not disclose in this video. Maybe we'll speak about that later, but back to business. Okay, so we'll be using a couple of things for this particular project. We will need supervisor, we will need Nginx, we will need Celery, we will need Redis, and I will also need Setbot. Let me explain what each of those tools are actually for. We use Nginx for proxy configuration and rerouting. You know, a Django application by default, it runs on port 8000. So from port 8000, we need something that will actually tell our HTTP server that, okay, this is what you're supposed to be reading. And that's the work of Nginx. Nginx will basically be the one to be reading from port 8000. So we'll be pinning the port 8000 and pushing all the outputs to port 80. That's the work of Nginx. We'll be using Celery and Redis for queue and caching. So when I'm talking about Celery, Celery is basically what will be performing the queue, and Celery cannot work without a broker. And for this particular project, we'll use Redis as broker. Yeah, and all this will be backed up by a link. We'll be having a link just below the video, so keep following. The link will appear either in the description or somewhere in this video. Just pay attention. Okay, and we'll also be having the set bot for SSL configuration. A free SSL certificate. Yeah, it's possible indeed. So we will also work now with supervisor. Supervisor will basically be what we automate the start and restart of our services based on our needs. And of course, we'll be having a workflow file stored on GitHub. When we log in our server, we go straight into the configuration of this server. And as easy as it is, within less than 5 minutes, you can have everything configured. Just follow the tutorial step by step and follow the couple of commands that will actually also be dropped on that particular blog post. Now, the only inconvenience now with this particular configuration is in terms of architecture and in terms of scalability. Given that all of these resources are isolated on a particular server, this makes it very difficult for our application to be considered a scalable one. The probable scalability that we can adopt on this particular application is a vertical scalability. Or it's vertical scalability, yes. So we can just increase the amount of resources that we are having. That's maybe the CPU or the central processing unit, also increasing the RAM that we are also having. But all the rest now, it depends on how we configure our server. So I will actually also advise all of you to maybe explore different architectures and keep having fun while learning. Peace.